On this, the third from the final night of SpeedGaming Live, these two runners will face in the semifinal round, hoping to get themselves a spot in the finals. Welcome to game number 2 between fcoughlin and TruantGamer. Hey everybody, I'm Adirondack Rick, being joined by Elsoa. Here we go. Semifinal hype, game number 2. Elsoa, what happened last night?
Well, there was a silver arrows that happened to be one room north of a certain Triforce in level 8 that one of our runners by the name of F. Coughlin got, and one of our runners by the name of TruantGamer did not get, and that ended up being the big difference maker between the two runners, as you really don't have a whole lot of reason to go back to 8 normally when you have already completed it, and silvers can be a 9.
Yeah, well, you see, there was one other component. You see, both runners did have to go back into that level. The problem is that the recorder was super early into that level 8 that we wound up having to go back to get to level 9. TruantGamer had a hard time finding those items.
Yeah, well, that's just the nature of this game, is it likes to be as mean as possible. I tell you what, though, I am hoping for the 5-item chain reaction in this seed.
So it's simple. If Fred wins this match, he will move on to the finals. We'll be facing off against the Gotta Have Heart Man of Chess Jerk. If TruantGamer wins this game, Fred, we saw that. If TruantGamer wins, we get a game 3 coming up here right after this.
Yes, and I believe what we'll see is, I'm going to expect that based on how game 1 went, Truant might play a little bit more conservative this time around and be a little more thorough in dungeon checking. But what I'm more curious about is if Fred sees this situation as the ever so slightest less amount of pressure from sheer virtue of already having a win under the belt, and knowing that if the seed goes badly, he does have that little bit of wiggle room. I don't expect that will be a factor, but it's something to always keep in mind as we get a start in the...
Ooh, yeah. And we get a level immediately, which is good thing that we didn't do the point prediction of who would find the first level, because that would have been a tie as we find level 3 here in the southwest corner. We get Tektites in the first room. We have a room that features a Lamola that could be a staircase. And we have the That's All, folks.
It's nice at the level to tell them they should go somewhere else.
Yes, that was a pretty solid, don't go any further through here. I don't know any other indication you could have had of that, but we do have a little bit of a divergence here by Mr. fcoughlin heading on over towards the graveyard area, whereas Truant is going to be scoping out the open shops we have over on the other side of town.
I like the fact that Fred is doing the screen wraps to do the Lost Woods the normal way.
TruantGamer finding level 5.
And level 5 saying, no, please leave.
All of our levels seem to be doing this at this point in time. They don't want our runners to be exploring these things. Life is like a box of chocolates.
And sometimes you get coconut.
And we find our small secret is a nice, decent 16 rupees.
So it looks like TruantGamer is going to head back into level 5, presumably to get a little bit better spawns on this blue Octorok, as Fred finds there any roads, and so far it looks like we have Graveyard, Candle Row, the Desert Cave that is open as Truant finds level 4, a lot of levels over near the Deadwoods-ish area, and one of our Power Bracelet spots is no longer in play.
So, TruantGamer, I don't think that was exactly what he was up to in regards to the checking or the respawn of the blue Octorok. I think he was trying to see if he couldn't get a free bomb wall in that level 5. Didn't. Gets a heart container here in this level 4. The floor items are always going to be heart containers. Well, the boss hearts, that is. Different story about the other particular thing we could be finding. That's a nasty come down off level 6, as Fred is going to be screaming a son of a monkey at this point.
And that is a kind of a rough leave any room, being bombs or keys. Thankfully, it's only 2 keys, so it's not that much of an impact, but the fact that you have to choose between that or a max bomb capacity when you have wizards in dungeons is a little bit, meh.
Now, the unfortunate thing is that Fred did not get a whole lot of whole lot of exploration over on that side of the world where the graveyard is. Not quite the level that we saw from Truant. Oh, wow!
I don't know what I don't know which of those 2 things that you see in the shop you're more impressed by.
The 1 rupee heart and the 2 rupee bombs. That's a whole lot of wow to me for both of those.
You know, the pity heart often gets underestimated, but when you survive because you bought the pity heart, it feels really good.
Yeah. And the recorder is our white sword item. It's not obtainable at 4 hearts.
You know, I feel like the runners might be a little bit happier to see that before having to redig level 8 for it. A smidge.
Yeah, considering the fact that that was one of the components that led to what wound up happening in the last race, I do definitely think they're going to be happy about that. Arrows also dropped pretty low. They're 62 rupees, only 2 rupees north of the minimum.
You know what that means, though, right?
No.
The large secret's going to be like 58.
With, what is it, 16 rupee smalls? I don't think they really care.
Well, you haven't seen a medium yet. Those could be 25. Fred is going to opt to purchase the cheap bombs. You spend half a rupee per bomb.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid deal, for that matter.
Yeah. Especially when you consider in vanilla, they're 20 rupees for a 4-pack. You're paying an order of magnitude less for the same amount of stuff.
Cheap meat. Did you see the price of that?
I definitely saw it was in the 40s. I didn't catch what the second number was.
43.
I feel like this is the seed where you just preemptively buy the meat.
43, which is 3 off the minimum of 40.
We are looking at a seed where a large secret, if it's large enough, will be enough to buy the meat and the arrows at the same time.
And like 16 packs of bombs.
So that only leaves the question, how much is the candle?
Watch it be 44.
I'm going to predict 78.
Why?
Because there's free candles in the Take Any caves.
Nah. We can make it 44 rupees.
You drive a hard bargain, but I can only offer 60 sou. 60 sou? 62.
62, okay. Is there a significance behind that number?
No. Besides just to match the price of the arrows.
Alright, let's keep an eye on TruantGamer, because Fred ended up taking a death trying to come off that staircase. If Truant finds something nice over here with the Armos, that's unfortunate news for Fred. It's not devastating news, but the fact that Fred took a death before he could get it is more of the devastating part over here. And it does turn out to be one of our staircases.
Yeah, it could be the sword, though.
It could be. We haven't seen our Armos item yet.
And we know the recorder isn't going to block the sword because that's the white sword item. There it is.
It's the wooden boomerang, and Fred blows the bomb trying to get around that.
You know, the correct boomerang to pick up is the first one you find because it makes collecting items a little bit easier.
Ooh! Did you just see that?
Yep, it is 26 for the mid-secret. There's a sword.
There's a sword, but we can't lift that at this point. So 26 for the mid-secret is not necessarily what you want to see, and Fred and Truant now with that knowledge.
You know, to me, one of the underrated uses of the boomerang is it makes certain rooms, such as Wallmaster rooms and I'm going to say like Moblin and Guerrilla rooms where the enemies like to really group together. A lot easier to force bombs in.
Yeah, for certain. And TruantGamer playing the gambling game and comes up successful the first time around, scoring 28 rupees. Fred finding level 7.
This looks like the Shadow Temple to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But is it full of dangerous enemies? Sort of.
Yeah, that's not going to be a thing that Fred's going to do at this point in time. This is a get out, come back later when you have a sustainable weapon.
But it is nice to know that that is a enemy set that you can stun entirely with the boomerang, so it makes it a little bit easier, again, for the bomb forcing, and also just generally walking through rooms.
Yeah, for certain. Now, one thing the boomerang doesn't do is stun Dark Notes, as Fred just showcased right there. As he tries to get over here, and he'll find that it is a gambling spot, and he's not going to play. We do get our first take any, and Truant thinking about it, but we'll choose the candle. We'll probably see Fred do the same thing here, knowing that the bid secret is the 26 that it is.
And also knowing that even though you know that the recorder is your white sword item, the odds of you being able to pick up another 3 hearts over the course of the seed is almost 100%. So that 1 extra heart doesn't do enough. If it was a white sword, a wand, or another sort of combat item, then the decision becomes a little bit more interesting. And especially if it was a red candle, I think you gotta take the heart there.
Nice bomb drop right there for TruantGamer, trying to wait out the Dark Nut. As Fred getting bopped around. Ooh, that was going to be close. Now able to purchase some bombs. Does he buy the heart? Or is he just going to buy another pack of bombs?
Come on, Fred, buy the pity heart. You know you want to do it.
Would be the safe idea, especially considering the fact that you got a Dark Knight on the screen and also a blue lever that can knock you back to start. But instead, Fred is going to go into this location here, southeast of 2, get himself a heart container.
Okay, I guess that counts as the pity heart.
Yeah, that works. And we find another arrow shop over here at the Forest Darmos, the southeast Forest Darmos. And TruantGamer getting into that level 7, but not going to be able to do anything inside of this level at this point. Again, we need to find where that sword is. Is this it? No.
You know,
but it is the top secret, and it's worth 65 rupees.
Now, interesting to note, TruantGamer's at 80 rupees before picking that large secret up, so Truant may consider both at least an arrow purchase, if not both an arrow and a meat purchase after getting that last after getting that large secret, and doubly so considering that we know the mugger rooms are not going to want rupees.
Yeah, Fred gets over here, is going to be able to see what the ladder item is, and that's a nice defense once you get the ladder.
Well, that's just going to put the ladder buried deep somewhere in a wizard dungeon.
You really want that, don't you?
Yes. But that's because I like wizards.
I'll allow it.
You see, I like wizards because you just lay a bunch of bombs on the ground and they all probably die.
They won't.
That's why I said probably die.
They won't, though. You and I both know how the wizrobes work in this game. See Link, see Dead Link.
Well, to be fair, the wizrobes do work better than the gels.
I will point that candle purchase or that candle pickup for the take any has now led to 2 take any's here for Fred now.
Truant's now also up to 5 hearts. The difference in hearts right now is the heart out of level 4, I believe it was?
Yeah.
Which really isn't that much of a difference when you think about it. Now, the other side of it is Truant does go ahead and purchase arrows here.
Yeah, that was the same kind of strategy he had in game number 1 where he ended up purchasing the wood arrows. As Fred is going to check to see if 5 is enough for the recorder, and it is. Now, of course, we are playing with that overworld block on, so therefore that recorder could turn out to be very, very useful. But the other thing that this recorder does for Fred is it changes his strategy up because he likes to gamble on items and dungeons a little more once he has a way to get back to those dungeons easily.
You see, I thought that the white sword item could not be considered a sword block because you're not guaranteed, simply because of the number of hearts, you're not necessarily guaranteed to be able to get all of the hearts necessary to pick that sword item up.
Right. Well, when I'm saying by overworld block, I'm not talking about the wood sword. I'm, of course, talking about the dungeon block.
Ah, that block. Yes, there are two different types of blocks active in the seed, although one of them will be irrelevant. I think the ferry shop, the one by the ferry over near the desert, was any road, and the other one is level 5.
So at this point in time, it almost feels like the wood sword has to be in that open cave next to 1Q9.
I feel like if you're going to go up there, you're going to do as much at Death Mountain as you can on the way.
Yeah, which is why you're going to want to have some bombs when you go ahead and do so. Fred checking the 7 location, and he's told to pick up the canal.
I feel like the proper response is to throw the boomerang at the Octorok.
It doesn't do anything.
That's a letter. Fred is going to opt to take it.
And TruantGamer at 5 hearts is going to be picking up that recorder as well.
Looks like we have a cave here near the grave. The spot is a little bit tricky if you're playing with helpful or mixed hints, because that spot is considered to be by the grave and not at the Lost Woods, or the Dead Woods.
Yeah, I remember getting a little salty at that hint once when it kind of came into play that I couldn't get that hint because, well, reasons.
Raisins exist. So do raisins.
They sure do.
Fred's now going to come back up to the area that he was denied from earlier due to the level 6 enemies being terrible. But now with full health.
Yeah, he just kept getting bounced around, and probably the best idea for Fred at that point in time was to try to respawn the screen, but it really was not a fun screen to come off no matter what. So it looks like the way that Fred's playing this out is that he is going to be making a little bit of a priority towards that Death Mountain cave, but I want to think we have not seen the level 1 entrance yet either.
It looks like TruantGamer is going to go check our Lost Hills, which I don't think we've seen either.
No, we haven't, because we haven't seen the top of the waterfall, which could very well be the answer. Being told that both runners have taken a look at the level 1 entrance, which takes that out of my mind, because that's usually another one that I don't like to get to fast enough.
I'd like to note that it's amazing. Oh, the candle was
45.
Well,
for the candle.
Candle purchase was reasonable in this seed. However, this is not exactly a convenient spot to get to, especially when you're right there in the forest and can just clean up the forest spots.
Well, that and also the fact that that appears, I'm not 100% certain, but it appears as if that could be the rare shop. Fred, there's our wood sword.
Sword! So, now the question is, where do you go?
Hyrule.
Well, yes, but where in Hyrule?
To where all the fun places are, like the dungeons that you've seen. And we've seen levels 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, all in almost sequential order, but not necessarily in that order is where you're going to be going to. But yeah, we've seen 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's start digging out some of these. And the best place to start is the smallest of those, which would be level 3.
I think I want to go to level 1.
But we don't know where level 1 is.
It's somewhere in Hyrule.
Yep. And that's where I told you we should go, but you kind of dismissed that.
Yes. Looks like we're going to see some door strats and some bomb strats to take these landmos out a little bit more quickly. Bomb strats quite a bit more useful here, given that bombs are extremely cheap, and I believe there's a bomb shop nearby.
There is, but Fred's got to be careful, because one hit from these, he's back to start. Gets one of them killed. It's going to leave. and check to see if that is the staircase. Well, he is going to in due time. Gonna have to still be careful of the Gibdo, because the Gibdo can send it back to start, especially when it doesn't bounce back when you expect it to. That heart will keep him alive now.
Truant falls off of the block. Zalls do not die to a wood sword hit. This is surprising to absolutely no one because, Zalls gets a key for his efforts.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid key there for Fred. Now the question is this a push block? It is. Now, is this an item or a transport? It's a transport, because why would you have the item one room away from the start of a level?
I mean, to be fair, level 3 is just copying level 5 at this point. Oh, the keys have more than 0 HP.
There is the compass.
It seems like this lower portion of the level is going to be the main portion.
Yeah, definitely. Fred trying to get some bombs off of these Gibdos. Fred, I'm wondering if that key use was accidental. More like he may have forgot that he had picked up that key and was trying to Kanana key.
I think so, but look at this room over here. It is a shoot room. Fred is in the same room, does not have a key. TruantGamer does, but you had to use that key to get into that room to the north anyway.
And Fred, unfortunately, getting the map.
I don't think I'd call that unfortunate, though.
Unfortunately, Fred getting that map, because he really wanted a key there. I mean, well, yeah, it's fortunate you can see what the dungeon is. The unfortunate thing is more along the lines of, about the fact that you now still don't have a key. And you still won't have a key. You will get a heart container for your efforts, at least. All right, so we are going to be blocked out of here, either by key or by a ladder, because that ladder could be blocking the item. Because I think there's, one room to the north that we haven't seen yet?
2 rooms. And you have to kill these land molas every single time you want to go back into that back portion.
There is one room north of this river room that Truant's in right now. So, yeah, there's one room that is blocked here by the ladder.
I feel like if you're Truant here, you probably don't go refight the land molas, and you just come back later with a little bit better equipment.
Yeah, because he's going to get the key here, but at what cost? Fred seeing Wizrobes inside of this level 4. Truant is going to fight these Lamos and try to explore a little bit more of this level 3.
I'm not entirely sure if I agree with this play, knowing the key situation. And knowing that, based on what we've seen, I believe the item has to actually be in that ladder blocked area. Because I don't think we've seen any other stairs. Unless it's in the Triforce room.
It could be in the Triforce room, yeah. And unfortunately, Lamos do 2 hearts damage at this point. Fred is inside of this room with the gorillas, and these gorillas could very well be dropping something nice. It's going to have to move himself off that tile. That was a good spot where he could try to do multiple damage, but the problem there was because he had one that wasn't on the right side of the tile there. It was hitting him with a boomerang, and those do hurt.
And the other thing to note is because level 3 is literally at start, that's a ladder.
That's a Fred. Which was the theme of a lot of this game 1 between these two, about the vanilla items. Like the bow turned out to be in level 1. The wand, I believe, was in level 6. Trying to remember what else we had. Maybe the ladder was in 4 there as well. But yeah, there was a lot of Freds in last night's seed, and it turns out to be the first item we've seen inside of this game turns out to be yet another Fred.
So, speaking of Fred, if you are Fred at this point, you take that ladder and immediately go back to 3 and check those couple of ladder-blocked rooms in the north portion. Even if you don't necessarily go back for the Triforce immediately, just to see if that item is going to be something helpful.
Depends on his keys. If he's got more than 1 key, then probably. But if he still only has this 1 key, then I can't see him doing this at this point. He's going to go back into maybe level 5, because level 5 can be heavy with the number of keys that could be in there, depending on the layout.
Well, there's one other thing he might do before any of that.
What's that?
There's a red ring on the coast that is reasonably quick to get to.
Right, yes. and deaths can play a role in this. And we've seen a lot of races that come down to he who dies less gets more successful. Fred not happy with the fact that he just killed those wall masters to get 0 reply. TruantGamer getting the Triforce out of that level 3. And yeah, Fred's going to be leaving this level 4 with 0 keys, so he's got no reason to go back into 3 at this point.
Yeah, I think he grabs the Triforce here. I expect he will grab the ring off the world wrap, or if he hasn't seen it, he might world wrap to get that item anyway, and then go back to either 5 or 3.
Fred has seen it, but I think right now the routing sense is to go into this 5.
And Truant's going to opt to pick up the early potion.
Although, with the Wizrobes in this level 5, maybe... Oh, yeah, you don't want to take too many of those 4-heart bops.
Yeah, they say the only hit that's important
this is going to be a save. Fred's getting that red ring now.
Yeah.
See, if this level 5 was an easy enemy set, then you would at least try to get this done. Because routing sense, it's easier to go to level 5, but unfortunately, this game doesn't really care about your routing sense.
I don't actually think Fred had seen the enemy set in 5 before going in.
Yeah, which is why he went there. He knew that level 5 was there, but he didn't realize it was going to be Wizrobe City.
And now that he does realize it's Wizrobe City, well, he's on his way out. Truant is going to get his ladder. And Truant knows that the item in 3 is in the ladder blocked portion, because I believe he's seen every other room.
All right, Fred continuing his exploration. We've yet to see our overworld block. The guaranteed overworld block, which could be by way of this recorder, could be by way of that ladder that Fred has as well. As TruantGamer is going to use the compass to help guide him past this, leave your max bombs or keys. However, TruantGamer is going to have to do the kinetic key if he wants to get this Triforce. He's trying to line himself up for it, though.
And as we know, the Dodongos do not like to behave, but he is not going to be able to get the bomb drop that the Dodongo will give.
Oh my goodness, he wants this badly. He's trying to set up, how can I get this done? Oh, he's going to have to just pretty much just say no to it and just let it die by 2 bombs.
And even then, nearly loses it to getting bopped by the Beamos Fireball.
Yeah, but he does get the Triforce out of 4. So both of these runners with Triforces out of 4. TruantGamer with the Triforce out of 3 and 4. The question was what is that item in level 3? Now, I wouldn't be surprised because of where level 3 is. TruantGamer let it go as long as he did with level 8 last night, but you know, the other thing is that he does remember what happened to him in game number 1. It's going to be lingering on his mind throughout this entire thing.
Plus, again, if you're Truant, I think Truant has seen pretty much every room of the level. He knows it's going to be in one of 2 rooms. To me, it's a pretty quick check, given you don't have to kill those land molas to get to where the item is.
Fred just trying to take care of his entrances at this point. And Fred is going to buy a key. Keys are critical. And they look like they're going to be a critical thing coming up in this seed.
I like the decision. A lot. I could actually see Fred doing some overworld clearing and making his way back up towards level 7 and potentially going into 7 at this point. Simply by way of a lot of your recorder spots are kind of on the way up there.
Especially with this desert coming up here. And we've yet to see level 1, we've yet to see level 2. And level 9 is the other thing that we haven't seen yet. Level 8 as well. Well, there's 9.
Yep, and it's overworld blocked. Looks like Truant is going to opt to immediately head back to 5.
Yep, he's ended up grabbing that red ring, so maybe he might get a little extra exploration than what we saw from Fred. Fred picking up this 16 rupee small secret.
It did double his money.
I wasn't told we had to do math on this stream.
Yeah, you know. So here's the... I don't honestly think either of the runners is making a poor decision here. Truant's opting to just dig the dungeons that he knows are there, and Fred is saying, I'm going to go find the rest of my dungeons, knowing that 1 and 2 are still on the table, which are generally small and dense.
What would, if you were holding on to the controller this situation also, what would the strategy you'd employ?
I think I'd be more likely to employ Truant's strategy of go check the dungeons that I know exist, because I have to do them anyway. The only thing I might do is I might go ahead and just pop into 3 real quick before doing this, just in case that's something like a white sword or a wand or a silver arrows or a bow that would just make this combat quicker.
TruantGamer trying to maybe set himself up for a kinetic key, ended up having to say no to it at this point, but does get a key out of that room. Into this room with the keys.
The keys are 1 HP for what it's worth. So you can't kill them with a boomerang, but everything else will work.
Can I kill it with a recorder?
Eventually? You play the recorder long enough that your console runs out of power?
Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to see that work in progress here. Fred back in level 3. TruantGamer's now picked up the Triforce out of level 5. Now with a 3-1 Triforce lead. But we're not there yet. And I'm sorry, I was incorrect. You were right. It was 2 rooms. And with a key, Fred not checking that room to the right. Doesn't want to spend that key.
Well, he knows that his Triforce is going to be key blocked no matter what, so regardless of if he spends the key there, he has to have at least 1 more key to get to the Triforce, and he doesn't know if the Triforce will be accessible even with just 1 key. So to me, this play from Fred makes sense. Truant's going to go into level 6.
Well, you've already got the Triforce out of 3, 4, and 5. 7 could be an adventure. 6 is going to be an adventure too, but again, this is going with that strategy that you mentioned earlier. He knows where the dungeons are, so he's going to go ahead and explore them.
Yeah, and I ultimately think this is... To me, this is the kind of thing To me, this is, again, how I'd approach it, just because it is that mentality of, I have to do this anyway, I might as well do it now. Looks like the Stalfos was holding... Okay, there was just a key in the room. Thought he was holding the key, but apparently not. Fred's gonna opt to check the bottom of 3, which... Oh, hi! There's the item.
That's something that TruantGamer did not get.
That's interesting. And that's Silver's.
Oh!
Wow!
Silver's again!
There might be a sense of deja vu going on.
Now, the only good thing here is that it is 1. It's right at the start screen. I can't see TruantGamer getting to the same situation that he did last night.
No, he will dig. I expect he will dig 3 before 9.
Yeah.
I don't expect he will dig 3 until he's ready to go into 9.
Which means he could be going through a long dungeon, but he did gamble on the item on 6, so here's... I guess we'll see what ends up happening here. It's definitely going to be interesting, but silver arrows in a dungeon that TruantGamer gets the Triforce out of. And Fred, before he gets the Triforce, gets that item. Wow.
But Fred doesn't have bombs!
For the... Wow. You can't make this stuff up.
And there's blue land molas.
And there's a free pass back to start.
I think if you're Fred, you just leave that Triforce until the end. Like, level 9 is in the desert. It's a quick FA to get back there. And you're going to be able to go into 9 with full bombs.
And you already got the item.
Yeah. You just kind of leave it there for now.
Yeah, Fred's not happy about having to leave this dungeon, but it's not the end of the world, considering the fact that he got the item out of there. TruantGamer's about to find out about level 9 in just a moment.
And he also knows that when he comes back for the land molas, he's going to have silver arrows available to kill them a little bit quicker.
Alright, time to buy some more bombs. 2 rupee bombs. Level 8 found.
And with Truant in level 8, Dig Dugger really just likes all kinds of music. What about black metal?
How's that different than purple metal?
It's more Scandinavian. Fred gonna opt to go into 6. And oh boy, it's her favorite enemy.
Ooh, and 8 of them. Because why not?
This is a good room. If you're Ganon.
This is a good room if you didn't have the red ring in your Ganon. No drop, but TruantGamer firing off the candle. Not really happy about not getting a drop out of that room, but, you know, it is what it is.
Looks like TruantGamer's getting ready to use more bombs. Or not. Gonna candle the Wallmaster.
Yeah, this is an interesting session here for TruantGamer. Unfortunately, these red bubbles are giving him the business. Don't step in front of an orange beam.
Well, to be fair, it's technically faster to get hit by that than to lose your sword and have to go chase down the blue bubble. Although doing it twice is not good for your health.
Yeah. I mean, this is a stressful room. It really is.
And he's going to save the room state by walking into that room, which is an old man.
With a... Speaking of music.
Looks like Fred wants to get south in this room.
TruantGamer finishing off of that room. And into another good old session of hell with blue wizrobes.
Well, here's a staircase.
It's going to be the transport staircase.
No, it's going to be the blue boomerang.
What makes you think that?
It's level 8.
What is that ink blot?
It
looks like an E with a tail.
Yeah, you know what? It's second quest 1 after a few too many cakes.
Cakes?
Cakes. Compare the size of 2Q1 to this monstrosity.
Well, yeah. Cakes.
Yeah, a few too many cakes.
What kind of cakes were we having? What's with this level 6?
Okay, level 6 is like... That's a raft. That could be required.
What is it with this level 6? Now, here's another thing. TruantGamer has already left that level 6. If that raft is required, that's not good news.
And just the heart is the first item in level 8 for Truant.
Fred remembers the story about Raft. It came into play when he played a random effect in, what was it, the
I think that was the quarters.
quarterfinal round, yeah.
I like the immediate raft spot check.
Yeah, you're just around the corner from it. You're going to find out if it's needed. It's not needed for this one.
Not even a shop that sells bombs. I think Fred is heading to 5 here.
Yeah, with 3 keys, you might as well at this point. Because I think the way he wants to do this afterwards would be at least to check that other RAS spot.
And I could see a world map to the other RAS spot to 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
Given, as we've mentioned previously, you have to do 7 anyway. Even if you don't want to.
You mean Redwood Grad hasn't found a way to take 7 off the list of dungeons?
Well, if this was the Pentaforce tournament, we could not do 7.
We're not doing a Pentaforce tournament.
I'm aware we're not doing one. That's why I said if.
So there's Fred demonstrating the earlier concept that I was talking about in regards to playing the recorder for the keys.
And serenading the keys sometimes doesn't work ever. I used to think as a kid you could get the Patras to come to the ground by playing the recorder for them. To be fair, seems kind of logical.
Did you know that Cleveland had a team?
Yeah, I think they're called the Cleveland... what is it? No, it's not the Cleveland Cleavers.
I think Cleveland's having an identity crisis right now.
Are they thinking they should be in Canada?
There's a big, gigantic body of water separating them from Canada.
Minor detail. Fred got the Triforce out of level 6. And now gets the book out of 5, which is not too bad.
It's,
Okay, so level 5 is like a lamp with a snake coming out of it. Oh, and there's a transport in this room.
That's a shape.
I'm actually rather impressed we found the item in 5 before the transport.
Yeah, I know. And that's another item that TruantGamer did not pick up. And because so many boomerangs are on the screen, that the ladder's not working for Fred.
So at this point, you're kind of just hoping to find the Triforce, and if you can't find the Triforce, find the compass, and if you can't find the compass, find a room that isn't full of blue wish herbs.
Yeah, that room was painful.
And Fred will have to go back through it, but has a whopping 6 keys at this point.
Yeah, for somebody who unfortunately got shut out because he was out of keys a little while ago. And only got hit once by the Hyrulean firing squad at that point on the way back through.
This room is going to be fine. Oh, yeah. Well, all right. Well, there's a Triforce piece in level 7, folks.
And this proves your point how?
Proves my point of what?
About how you have to finish level 7.
Well, you have to get the Triforce piece that's in there. The game said there's a Triforce piece, therefore you should go get it. Heart found for Truant in level 8.
Explosives found for Fred.
So where is the Triforce in level 8 going to be?
Somewhere in the E. I'm going to say that second E in the middle.
I'm going to say it's in the very tippy top right corner. Fred takes a Wizard Beam.
I think that's what, like 5 red Wizro beams we've seen in this seed so far?
Yes.
Combined?
I believe so. It might be 4. And level 5 is split down the middle. Thanks to the Cleveland. See, Cleveland is getting in the way. Red Jobs are beefy.
Someone get Drew Carey on the phone and tell him that Cleveland doesn't rock.
Well, we could just tell him that Cleveland's like the Whose Line Is It Anyway points.
The city doesn't matter?
Yep. Note, I have nothing against Cleveland, specifically.
I've got nothing against Cleveland either. I've never been to Cleveland. I hear it's got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I cannot confirm or deny, as I have not been there. Fred gets a piece of triangular cheese out of level 5. Although I'm not sure if you should eat the glowing cheese.
Nah, if you've seen that one episode of Futurama, you know not to eat things that are glowing.
Fred has decided to go ahead and get this Triforce out of level 3.
Yeah, a couple of notes for our tracker here. Fred has the book out of level 5, and TruantGamer has the red ring off the coast. Now back to your Patra fights with TruantGamer on your right-hand side.
Patra continuing to be a terrible roommate and just throwing the Patrites through the walls. The Patra does not understand what personal space is.
And speaking of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there's an artist that was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Some year, I don't remember which year it is. I know they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Probably one of the years between when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was founded and today.
Awesome.
Fred is determined to not get trolled on goat again, as TruantGamer is nearly full cleared this level 8.
It would have been funny if one of these runners named their files Bob O'Reilly, but they didn't.
Truant finds the second item, and it's a bloomerang.
Ooh.
If Fred goes north first in 8, that is a significant chunk of time that Fred will save over Truant.
If Fred goes into 8 after finding the bow in some other dungeon, I think that's a massive advantage at this point in time. Of course, that silver arrow still looming large here for TruantGamer. And of course, we're still questioning whether or not we need the raft.
You know what? I'm going to say it. Bow in 7 is the best case scenario for Fred.
Right now, the best case scenario for TruantGamer is that the power bracelet is going to be still needed.
Speaking of TruantGamer, they found that the Triforce is up over in the upper left corner of it.
Looks like Fred's heading for level 8 next, though. He has not seen it yet, but he's heading in that direction.
I'm half expecting that Fred will, if he goes north in level 8, just leave as soon as he gets his triangle out of here. Especially because he has the map of 8. Which Truant did not have coming in.
Yeah, but the map wasn't that deep here in this level 8. To be fair.
Depending on which... Well, that depends on which direction you go to.
Well, there's like 63 different directions you can go in this level 8, so that's true.
And you have to kill the Patra. Fred is not pleased.
There is the Triforce for TruantGamer. That is number 5.
And the runners are really all tied up on Triforce count. Fred has quite a bit more item knowledge than Truant has.
Including an item that you need to beat the game.
Looks like Fred is going to opt to go towards the southern branch, but he can go north here. We'll see if he decides to.
And what we call the Forgotten Spot is a place that you can forget about this time around. It is just a gambling cave.
I mean, gamble percent is very real in these seeds sometimes.
TruantGamer already gambled and won 28 rupees. We'll find level 9 just right now.
Fred opting to clear this room for potential Triforce and also to just get the Patra out of the way. Gets a key for his efforts, which I don't think he'll be upset about. This is going to go to the right. Gets a heart here. It's a little bit unfortunate that both the Triforce and the Compass were kind of on the north side, so if you go south and 8, like Truant and Fred appears to be doing, you just kind of get stuck here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of this game. It's not going to put the places in reasonable spots all the time.
We can at least make an effort.
Fred with 6 bombs.
Now 8. But it does get rid of the more annoying enemies in the room, so this room will stay dead permanently, as Truant heads back to level 7.
Yeah, now that you have a key, and now you also have the way to actually get rid of, or now that you have a way to kill these enemies. I forgot that this was the initial reason why we couldn't do this in the first place.
Yeah, enough bombs and you could have killed them. Fires don't die, though.
That's annoying.
Yes. Especially considering that 9... well, if 9 has fires, then there must be another bomb dropper besides them. Truant gets that's a level.
Alright, chat. You know the name of this game. It's called Name the Inkblot. And I've got nothing.
It is what looks to be a high-rise building with some extremely large, probably structurally unstable balcony.
Why hasn't the health department put this house to bed yet?
Because the engineering department called first dibs. We'll see how much time Truant decides to spend here in 7, having already gambled on 5 and 6. And if the raft is required, that also swings it very heavily into Fred's favor.
Yep. And as you can see with the stars on the bottom of the screen, Fred with 1, Truant with nothing. Truant doesn't have a game to give at this point. He needs to win these next 2 if he wants to continue his tournament life, good into the finals. Fred, if he wins this one, that's it. Finals tomorrow between the winner of this match and Chess Jerk waiting on the other side.
Chess Jerk probably watching to see what he can expect to deal with, but also the heart situation. Because as we know, he does enjoy his hearts.
Yeah, but we know that in Chess Jerk's situation, he would be upset with Fred because he's got 9 hearts at this point.
But Truant only has 8.
Not that far off, actually.
And Truant did skip a heart for a red potion. Truant finds a...
Oh, hi there.
Okay, so if you're Fred and you see that, given the information that Fred has, he's going to have level 8, and we know one of level 1 or 2 will not be power bracelet blocked.
And Fred loses in his fight against the Patra, and does show off a little bit of emotion towards it.
I think he's going to go back and do it, though, because he seemed very determined to get through this. I'm not sure if he's cleared the entire bottom out. But yeah, Fred has a good level of determination to deal with this Patra right now. Gets hit while inside of the door.
That's the game cheating.
Oh, yes. Fred ends up leaving the room and is now going to opt to just continue in the south. Was there a transport that took you up to the top of 8?
I don't want to say... I want to say no to that one.
So, I think if... So, here's the thing. If Fred doesn't get the items out of 8, if Fred doesn't see the items in 8 now, he will never see them. Because he's going to find one of 1 or 2 and will most definitely dig that looking for items before 8, but probably will leave either one behind undug if he gets that bow out of 7.
Yeah, for certain. Interesting that TruantGamer did not grab that key.
Yeah, it seems like he's just going here. Although it could have also just been well, I didn't see it spawn until I was already partway through the door, because I've certainly done that.
It was an existing room drop.
Well, I mean, that just might seem kind of silly. So Fred has 2 rooms down on the bottom. I think he's gonna come back for this Patra based on that up A instead of trying to find a bomb all around. We're seeing a suggestion that TruantGamer is setting up more Kanana keys later on.
Well, I mean, that's a possibility. Fred is on a half of a heart. That should have just been an up and A at that point.
Yeah. I almost wonder if it's worth it to go to the fairy fountain, get the heal, and come back with full health and just sword beam him to death. So, this means White Sword and Wand are both going to be a 9, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The way this is going for both of these runners. Fred retreating just a little bit.
Fred isn't... Okay, Fred got it stuck in the small state, so he should be able to get this.
Yep.
I still don't fully know what causes the Patra to get into certain states.
It's one of the orbitals that is going around him that determines whether or not he stays as Expando or not Expando.
Fred being asked who he is, but also will not ever have to clear that Patra again, given the fact that it is a dungeon boss and he was able to leave the room. Fred does get a bomb wall, which is nice. Trying to take out the wizards. Has to be careful.
Yeah, like TruantGamer, he's getting bubbled badly in this room. Gets a heart.
Very important heart. And is going to save the room state. Might clear out this little section over here as well. That would get him his compass.
Wizrobe cheats.
They do that. Red gets a key. These key counts are not necessarily high for either runner right now. Well, I mean, actually, it's quite high. Actually, no. I take that back. It is not necessarily high on Truant's side. On Fred's side, it is actually quite high.
And the interesting thing, as we've pointed out before, is TruantGamer could have had one more key. He could be at 4 instead of 3, but...
So, that has some implications of if 9 starts off very key-heavy, that could end up swinging the race if, say, the key-blocked path happens to be a worse path versus the non-key-blocked path.
Fred fending off that Wizrobe room as he heads towards the north.
Truant checking her ladder spots. They are not going to be required here.
Fred, one room away from the Triforce, doesn't know it at this point because he doesn't get the compass, but...
Naturally, we'll check this room first as it does not require a key. Truant buys a potion.
For 80 rupees compared to the small, which was 31.
That's a reasonably hefty convenience fee. Fred will clear this room and get his Triforce and probably be okay with it.
Yeah, he gets Y-Forced here, and I think that's what his emotion was at that point, is the Y-Force aspect, but in retrospect, when he looks and sees what is going to end up happening, that's actually going to be beneficial for him.
Yeah, he has no reason to go back into 8 at this point. Not until he has to. Truant's going to buy some more bombs. We'll see where Fred goes from here.
Death Mountain.
I like it. Even though he knows 7 is on the table, when you have 1 and 2 available, you definitely want to try to check those first.
Chew. And he's going to try to jimmy open one of those doors right here and see what we can do for this.
The reason that Fred left 2 initially was to pirouette the door.
I got excited there also.
Why?
Because that was a room with a black floor and a shutter door behind it. I was so excited that we were going to find ourselves with a required bait block.
Fred did not see either item in 8. Now this is where TruantGamer can pick a little bit of time up, as he has that bow from 7, and there's Bull's Voice in this dungeon. And Truant, as Chad is pointing out, didn't pirouette and now has only 1 key. That's... TruantGamer almost is playing like he's banking on just not needing keys, or is gonna find a magic key.
So as such, he will find the magic key, won't he?
Well,
you know what? The key in this room.
Nah, it's just gonna be in level 1 behind like 8 blue wish rooms. Fred's gonna take the stair to go to the segment of 2, as there's nothing left there.
And there's the map, which TruantGamer will get when he gets to the other side of this transport staircase. There's the Triforce, right inside of a Gibdo.
I expect both runners will... Oh! Okay, well, never mind.
Never mind with your level 9 prediction.
Also, most importantly, this forces Power Bracelet into level 1. Forces Power Bracelet to not be required. And again, I think if you're Fred, you're gonna dig. I think if you're Fred and you see that level 1 has been found, you probably still dig it. But you probably breathe a little sigh of relief knowing that you didn't leave behind a required Power Bracelet in like 8.
Yeah, that would be definitely a good thing here. But of course, Fred still needs to get that bow out of level 7.
And I believe Fred has seen 7, and I expect that he'll go check the raft spot on the way to 7, given that there's no real reason for him to dig 8 before digging 7 to begin with.
Fred losing a bomb as he got pushed around by the rocks. We'll see if that comes into play as we head over here towards the northwest corner, which can be very consuming of your bombs for absolutely no gain. But never mind, there's level 1.
Fred probably a little relieved to see it. And 1 is small, so digging this 1 for the items really isn't going to cost either runner much time. And again, Fred, I expect will... Well, I mean, this room could cost a bunch of time. I think if Fred sees 1 item in a Triforce and doesn't see the Power Bracelet, he'll leave.
This level feels like the Enterprise.
Well, if this is the Enterprise, then we're in the very bottom of it. Gotta work our way up to the top.
Our 1 level that was overworld blocked was level 9. It was recorded blocked in the desert.
I'm expecting both of our runners, given that both of them are missing required items, will dig this 1 out.
Yeah, for certain.
The catch will be where TruantGamer decides to go after this. If Truant goes to 3
Wait
first...
a second.
Oh, there's a
nice white sword right there. Wait a second. TruantGamer, this is his 8th dungeon. His 8th Triforce piece he's about to find.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. If you're pushing for TruantGamer, you need him to go to level 3 before he goes to level 9.
Yeah, because also thinking about the mathematics on TruantGamer's side, he knows that Power Bracelet and Raft, both of which he hasn't seen, have to be outside of 9. And if you're an hour something in, if you're an hour or something in and just finding levels 1 and 2, you probably feel like you're behind.
Fred going back in here. He'll get the power bracelet in just a moment, which we know has to be here. White sword pickup for TruantGamer.
That also puts Magic Key in 9, which could be a problem.
Yeah, considering that 1 that TruantGamer has versus the 6 that Fred has, but Fred hasn't gone through that 7.
That is correct. Fred has not gone through 7, but Fred knows that he does not need to dig an item in 9. TruantGamer doesn't know that at this point.
Yeah, and that could be a big thing. There's the power bracelet
There it
for
is.
Fred. And for Fred, it is either level 1 or level 7. And he's still got to do level 7, so he's going to hunt down that item. So
Yeah,
he'll be happy to see that bow. TruantGamer looking for this last item here, because he doesn't want to leave this level behind. But that's the room he needed to clear, and he's not clearing it just yet. He'll probably do it after this room, though.
I would half expect Truant to leave this room for last. Because why clear this room that is a lot of difficult combat when you can just fly through the rest of the dungeon?
Does pick up a key. That's huge.
Fred is now making his way over to 7.
Gets 2 keys.
Truant sees only a couple of rooms left.
The bow in 7 wasn't too... It was on the right-hand side of the level, wasn't it? It wasn't super close to the Triforce, but it was in that general direction.
But also, again, if you're Fred, you probably dig 7 before you go back to 8.
Yeah.
Given you're already here. And 7, I think, is the easier enemy set.
TruantGamer now up to 3 keys.
So Truant will likely see a power bracelet here in 1, meaning that Raft is the only non-9 item that is still available outside of 9 in his book.
And for him, the selection is either levels 5 or 6.
Well, he's got levels 5, 6, and 3 all to go look for items in, as well as 9. He's also missing the magic key, which, with 3 keys going into 9, doesn't necessarily feel the greatest, but it is doable. TruantGamer's not going back to the Wizard Room just yet.
Yeah, this is unfortunate time that TruantGamer... I mean, we know the answer. TruantGamer doesn't, and that's pretty much how this game can work out sometimes.
We did see 1 bomb upgrade. It was here in level 1, actually. It was 95 rupees.
Yeah. Which, obviously, neither runner has the capacity to pick up at this point.
And neither runner is going to come back for it. Fred doesn't even know it's there. Oh, Truant's checking this room first.
Fred taking a death. That's unfortunate.
He'll be able to get back there, though. That's a heart container for Truant. Both up to 9 hearts. Truant is leaving level 1 without the item. He's leaving level 1 without the final item, and it looks...
going back into 3.
He's going to 9. He's made...
Oh, no.
As far as he knows, there are 2 items that still have to be outside of 9, and he has, what, 6 total item slots open? That's still a 50-50 shot at best. I don't think I like this play. But 3 is quick enough. 1, you pretty much know where the item is in 1. And he's going in with no bombs to boot. Well, he gets bombs there, so that kind of the moot point.
Fred, you need to be careful with his health this time around. I think this is the room that the bow was in. Yes, it is.
This is going to put Fred in go mode. He will not need to look for anything in level 9 except for Ganon and Zelda. Matt found a 9. I am expecting Ganon's in that top right corner.
Yeah, that would... No. can I give you a contrasting answer there also?
Yes,
That third room down under the L.
I will accept this answer. That door is not Zelda.
Those doors there are not Zelda either.
But that is a Dig Dogger. That can be killed. There's a Triforce for Fred. He is going to be going into level 9 with bow and silvers in hand, as well as 6 keys to Truant's 3. Although there hasn't been a whole lot of locked doors yet.
Truant finds Zelda.
Good find.
TruantGamer finds the Riverman.
Now it's going to be a Ganon hunt for Truant, and then a Silvers hunt afterwards. Whereas for Fred, it is everything.
Truant, this needs to be an item.
It is. It's the red candle.
That eliminates another possibility here, so that's why that needed to be an item right there.
He is going to stay, presumably to try to find a path to Ganon and hope to find Silvers on the way. I would expect he leaves 9 as soon as he sees that there's no items.
Yeah, that would have been really, really nice for TruantGamer if that was the second item right there. So he knows that's the any key. He can leave right away. But, you know, this game isn't going to always be nice.
Like, this game is supposed to be nice. Fred might find Zelda here in just a second when he clears this room.
Yep, that's the room that he's going to clear. He's going to find out that that's Zelda, and that's the answer.
So now it's just a pig hunt. The reason I say TruantGamer probably leaves very quickly after finding the second item is, well, let's just say some other runners he's gone against have made that decision to not leave 9 after finding both items to find Ganon, and then it burnt them. Both runners are going to be taking transport stairs to get around this 9, as it seems to be relatively difficult to move around in. Now note that Fred does not have a potion. I don't think, anyway.
Yeah, so if he gets cursed, that's unfortunate.
Truant spends his last key on this door. Fred is in the same room, but just gets an old man. And now 0 keys for Truant versus 5 for Fred. Fred pulling the silver arrows out to speed up this combat a little bit is going to go north from this Via room, I imagine. Yep. Back into the staircase.
Fred gets bubbled.
Definitely needs to fix that. There we go. Gotta be a little careful. Oh, takes another. If Fred finds the red candle, I think he picks it up, actually.
Why is that?
Red bubbles and being able to candle boost past them.
TruantGamer doing an up and A.
I don't think TruantGamer needs keys to get silvers, and even if he does, he's got... Well, he doesn't have enough money now.
He just needs a bomb.
Yeah.
There's a bomb all over to the right-hand side. Waiting to hear the roar of Ganon. Tells us that he's one room away. Haven't heard him yet.
Fred finds a stair in the silver room. It looks like, to me, Fred is heading straight to that one-off room in the corner that you mentioned earlier.
Those rooms stick out like a sore thumb.
Yes. They are a massive pain to get to. That's another way to Zelda.
And it's all blocked off by a magical staircase.
Oh, boy. There seems to be a lot of staircase blocked areas in this 9 so far. Fred will go back for the key.
Nice clock there for TruantGamer. Needs that key.
And once again, both runners are in roughly the same area of level 9. Fred finds a staircase. He's going to opt not to take it yet, favoring the top. Oh, you hear? There he is. And that was a locked door, too.
And with the white sword, 7 or 8 hits to Ganon will take him down. TruantGamer using up a potion. He's in that bottom corner there where I thought he could have been, but it doesn't turn out to be this case. Fred, all he needs to do is an up and A. The creator, the winner of the 2019 Speed Gaming Live tournament. He is now just a few rooms away from playing Chess Jerk in the championship at Speed Gaming Live 2021. Get your GGs in the chat for Mr. Fred Coughlin.
Finishing with an official time of 1:13:40.
And it was like game 1, Elsoa.
Yep.
The silver arrows. Truant didn't get it. Fred did. And that's the way this game came to an end. As we welcome in Mr. Fred Coughlin into the chat.
Good evening.
GG's.
Oh, thank you. That was a scary one.
So you were quite a bit more thorough early on, and then skipped both items in 8, which happened to be very beneficial. But having found those silvers early ended up once again being a large difference, as we were also joined by Truant.
GG's there, Fred.
Yeah, great race, sir.
Not much we really can say in this case, except for the fact that silvers unfortunately hurt you in both games 1 and games 2. What were your thoughts when you were going through and found level 2 and level 1 for your final 2 dungeons, Truant?
I was hoping items would have been early so I could get in and out, and at that point I felt like I was already committed to 9 just because I felt like I was 10 minutes behind at that point.
Oh, if only you knew. I was going to say, I died way too many times. I got to the Triforce in level 3 and didn't have a single bomb in that Dodongo room, and so I lost basically a full extra trip in there. I felt like I was way behind at that point. I mean, the only thing I had, I think, in my case was the fact that I actually had the silvers.
I did the same thing in 3, except I went down and found the blue Landmoas and then had to go trek all the way back. But 8 was where I was piddling around a ton, and I just felt like I was getting way behind. And after that, just trying to play catch up.
8 didn't do either of you any favors. In fact, we tried to count how many orange Wizrow beams both of you took because you kept getting bothered by the bubbles in those rooms. But it was unfortunate that that 8, and you ended up getting both of those items out of 8. And how bad did you feel when you found out that it was the scrap metal in the heart container?
I was extremely disappointed because after last night, I wasn't necessarily gunning to make sure I found everything out of 8, but I didn't want to necessarily leave one room unturned as I did, and it was disappointing that it wasn't something better.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. And, as much as you try to put a seed behind you, the effects of the last seed do linger as you play your next one. But yeah, GG's to you, TruantGamer. Overall, your thoughts about the Speed Gaming Live 2021 tournament and the flags?
I'm very happy that I made it this far, obviously. I like the flags. Usually when I try new flags, I don't usually like them to begin with, but as I started going through them more often, I kind of liked them. I felt like I was understanding the meta of them a lot better than initially, and I hope they stick around and get used a lot more.
And you will not be walking away empty-handed for being a semifinalist. You will be walking away with $137 for playing in Speed Gaming Live 2021. Congratulations, TruantGamer.
Thank you.
Fred. Your second trip to the finals at Speed Gaming Live. You were there live in person in 2019, and here you are live again in 2021. And this time you get the heart-loving Chester coming up.
That's going to be quite the battle. I feel like Chestrick and I have played in way too many of the battle royales that have existed here in the Z1 community, and I feel like it's almost always neck and neck. I think Chestrick probably has a slight advantage long term. I feel like I could just be that infamous bias that you get of, wanting to meet what you think it is, but I feel like whenever I play Chestrick that he almost always, it's always either very close or he takes it home, so it's going to be a real challenge to take him on there. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good match, I'm hoping.
Yeah, and that's going to be happening tomorrow night, right after Game 2 of the Ocarina of Time Finals. Approximately 9:45 p.m. tomorrow night. Once again, it all depends on how long those seeds are going to be over there with the Ocarina of Time. It'll be right after that here on Speed Gaming 1. So stay tuned for that. Going to be fun. Fred versus Chesterk for the Speed Gaming Live 2021 Championship. Winner getting over $600 here from this, and runner-up getting a little over $400. Pretty good sum of money there here at Speed Gaming Live 2021.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the matchup there. I mean, as I said, that's definitely a nice surprise to play for. At this point, I just want to have a ton of fun here. I want to get some really close races there with Chesterk, and hoping it'll be some exciting action there, because as I said, Chesterk is a really strong competitor. So looking forward to just what madness we're going to be seeing tomorrow night. Or maybe I'm not looking forward to it. Maybe I'm cursing it internally. I haven't decided yet.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. How many sons of a monkey did you utter today?
I lost count after probably about 5 or 6, so we may have hit double digits.
That's why there's a command in your channel called Monkey++.
Very true.
Elsoa?
Well, it's been mentioned, something just got mentioned in chat of watch for Game 4 after a tie in Game 3. So, if you guys tie in Game 3, should you guys just do a chess match versus each other?
We might have to. Wait, not chess. Wait a second. With his name? No. Maybe we'll pick a different randomizer completely and just do a tiebreak there. That might work. Maybe something he and I haven't played together ever. So
Zelda 2 randomizer, got it.
Oh, yeah, I have technically played one game a few years ago, but
okay, disqualified.
Yep.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, congratulations, Chesterk. Everyone, Chesterk has won the 2021 tourney here.
No, Fred. We're gonna make you play Pokemon Red, Rando.
That actually kind of sounds fun. I would take that. I'm a weird sadistic type of person for punishment. I would be willing to try that one.
Says the person that's in a gazillion tournaments over the course of a year.
Shh. We don't know that. There's no evidence.
Please ignore all the stuff over there.
I think all the VODs on Speed Gaming kind of prove that incorrectly.
Please ignore all the VODs over there.
The VODs will disappear very shortly, I'm sure. Totally.
Not if I have any help in it.
Oh, poop. I'm in trouble. Chat, help me, please.
I don't think there's any help for any of us.
I mean, we're playing Zelda Randomizer. There's definitely no help.
Absolutely. So I do want to make a plug before we get off the air here. Coming up on Wednesday night, November 17th at 9 p.m., the Zelda 1 community is going to be doing a very special community race over on twitch.tv/randomania in honor of OPT Lawyer. with the Outer Strongs. We're going to be doing the Makin' Bacon Battle Royale that he had put together a couple years ago. That's coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern. Everyone in the Zelda 1 community is invited to play along with that. And if you don't get the chance to make that race, we're going to be doing it again for the SpeedGaming Live weekly race the following Sunday at 10 p.m. But other than that, tomorrow night, approximately 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Again, it could be a few minutes early, could be a few minutes late, depending on these Ocarina of Time Game 2 of their finals. Fred versus Chess Jerk for the SpeedGaming Live 2021 Championship. That's coming up tomorrow. Coming up next, we got more fun here on Speed Gaming for TruantGamer. Clicking those buttons, and El Soa Madirondack Rick saying thank you for joining us, El Soa. You get the final word.
Well, I do want to mention one last time that, well, actually, no, I'm not going to mention it again because it's already been mentioned a couple times tonight. I'm just going to say goodnight, everybody. Stay warm and safe out there, and we'll see you for more lovely randomizer action in the future, near future, in fact.